Hello guys, my name is Julia Watkins. I hope you all are off to a great start of your day. I kind of wanted to come on. I was actually trying to do a live, but I was having problems with that. I'm not sure if there's something that Facebook is doing that's new, but I don't know. I wasn't able to go live on my different pages. So I wanted to come on and do this impromptu, non-formal video. Just kind of talking about when you do the work. And when I talk about work, I'm talking about inner work, the inner work that ultimately we all have to do, no matter what, you consider your life to have been like up until this point. And I mean, we all have things that I'm sure we could have saw done differently or handled differently, or things like that. So I don't think nobody is really exempt, but we all have our own personal things that we could definitely benefit from, as it relates to doing the inner work and just self-discovery. And I think a lot of times we see the inner work as minute because we're so busy and ready to get to, all these material things. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Trust me. I mean, I like luxury and things like that too. But to add that to you without really doing the inner work, I mean, it can be a disaster, and I use this example all the time. I mean, you really have to look at these celebrities because, and I use this example because a lot of people see them as living the life because people are only able to really see their material gain. And nobody is really paying attention to the brokenness inside, and that's not to judge because at the end of the day, we all have broken pieces. But it's like we have to get to a point where we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, you don't have to pick whether to be whole or have wealth. You can have both. And ultimately, you should want both so that you can fully maximize and enjoy the wealth that you desire, And so I kind of just want to come on here and, just talk a little bit about my own personal inner healing, inner work, self-discovery journey, because the shifts and the changes that I'm seeing in my life has been astronomical. And I know a lot of people, on the outside looking in, I've always appeared to be this person that I guess had it all together, because on the outside, I'm doing everything that looked like was the blueprint that society says, makes someone successful, right? I'm a nurse. I got all these degrees, I'm not really wanting for anything financially, so to speak, but I wasn't really being fulfilled, like internally at a soul level. It's like I was doing all these things that I know I should do to pretty much create a life for myself that, in my mind, that wouldn't require me to really struggle. But in trying to live up to that standard, I was basically neglecting my soul, what my soul yearned for and wanted. And truth to be told, I didn't even really know what that was. Sometimes we're so busy in survival mode, or we're just so caught up in just letting things and allowing things to remain how they've always been, even though the way in which things have always been isn't working for you, And sometimes I think we don't even realize we really have a choice, because all our lives we've been told that it should be this way or that way, You've kind of been told how to look at a situation, determine if it's good or if it's not. But we've never really been taught to really follow our soul, follow what calls us, follows what yearns us. And a lot of times that can be a little misconstrued too, because when you don't know who you are really internally at a soul, at a core level, a lot of times we're running off these different paradigms, right, that have been given to us by others, that has been formulated based on our environment, our upbringing, just different things. And this is not to judge that stuff. It's just simply about realizing what no longer serves you and works for you and releasing that. And basically, ultimately, my journey led me on a path to doing that. Really beginning to tap in and dig into myself and really just pull out those things that no longer serve me. Pulling out of those things that I may have just adopted because that's what I was told. That's how I was taught. That's all I saw. That's all I knew. And really being able to create and define my life based on what I truly want and desire. And to know that there's no limits in it, because you are the co-creator. I am the co-creator of my life. And whatever I choose, I get to decide. But I have to believe, right? And so a part of this journey was really a lot of me having to break through a lot of those limiting beliefs, a lot of those paradigms that was ultimately driving my reality, ultimately causing a block and a hindrance to what I truly desire. You know, we all have dreams, hopes, and aspirations, but it's kind of like, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to truly take those dreams, hopes, and aspirations and go after that? Or are you going to allow it to remain a dream, a hope, and an aspiration? Because these dreams, hopes, and aspirations that you have inside of you are there for a reason. They're not just there just for you to fantasize about all the time. They're there for you to actually be able to build up the courage, the willpower, the motivation, and the mindset to truly go after those things that you truly desire. There is no limit. But sometimes we do have to do the inner work and go through the paradigms that are hindering our flow so that we can truly launch out there and accomplish and fulfill and live the life that we truly desire. And I know all the time we're hearing that, you know, wealth is our birthright. And I think a lot of times people take that as a cliche. And a lot of times it's because we don't really understand what that really means, because we don't understand the power that we have to really create the life we desire. And so me being on this journey and really learning that, understanding that, you know, really dissecting things. And I mean, there were times where I did have to work with people to assist me, because you have to understand and you're having to learn and unlearn, you know, and it could be a lot. It can seem overwhelming initially because, hey, your brain doesn't like change. It's not something you're used to doing. But if you're consistent and persistent, you will begin to see your life change literally before your eyes. I mean, so many things have shifted and transformed and continue to do so since I've been on this journey. I mean, there are things that I have just only dreamed about, hoped for, and just saw it as far-fetched that I'm actually in the process of, you know, bringing it into my physical reality. And I'll give an example of this. You know, I always have said in the past, oh, you know, I wouldn't mind moving to California. I just want to move to Cali to experience Cali life, you know, just for the experience, you know. And in my mind, you know, I'm just talking. But that's another thing I'm saying. The things that you dream, hope, and aspire for, is you're doing it for a reason. There's a reason why you dream, hope, and aspire for a thing, because that's your soul speaking. You know, and so before I started doing this inner work, really digging into myself at my core, to me, California was just like a far-fetched dream or ideology, or something that I would only hope to do. But as I began to do this, getting in alignment with my higher self, releasing things that no longer serves me, really shifting my thought forms, my paradigms, my beliefs, here I am today in the process of putting everything in motion to fulfill and accomplish a manifestation or a dream, a hope, an aspiration that I had years ago, that to me it was just only a thought. To me it was just only something I would dream or hope or aspire to do. But now this thing is actually in a place of really getting itself in place for me to actually, like, I'm actually really, I mean, it's so surreal to me, because it's like, wow, you know, I'm thinking I'm just talking, even though I really did. When I said it, I meant like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Cali. But at the same time, it was like, oh, it's far-fetched. But here I am today, like literally taking actionable steps to get me to that place that I only thought was a dream, hope, and an aspiration years ago. You guys, the more of this live or this video, please do the inner work. I mean, sometimes we invest so much money into things. I'm not going to say those things don't matter, because ultimately they matter to you if you're willing to invest in them. But we also have to put the time, energy, and effort, whatever it takes, to really do the inner work. Because honestly, it's in that place that you become the God or the goddess that you're meant to be, which is where you are the co-creator, you are the creator of your life. And the only limits we have are the limits we place on ourselves, which is why dissecting those limiting beliefs is key. And that's another reason why I launched my Inner Child Metamorphosis program, because listen, I've been through it. I mean, I'm still growing and evolving. Like, this journey never ends. But you can start where you can be equipped, obtain tools, techniques, and modalities that can assist you in your forever journey of growth and evolution. Sometimes we get so content and we get so used to being the victim that we forget that our power lies in our pain. You know, it's all about growth. And I always say, nothing happens to you, it happens for you. It happens for your growth and evolution, but it's like, what do you decide? Do you decide to be the victim, or do you decide or choose to be the victor? What will you choose on this day? And I just wanted to come on and share that because I just felt led to, and I was actually, like I said, trying to go live, but for some reason, I'm unable to. So I decided to record this video. But nevertheless, you guys have an amazing rest of your day.